Morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to TEA minus 10 minutes with Shay. You can always bring your tea to the broadcast because I am having mine. T minus 10 minutes with Shay, your favorite fractional chief operating officer. I work inside of seven figure, multiple six figure and six figure businesses, helping them with their business growth, managing the business, managing the team, managing the problems and the issues, right? For their business growth and their business scale. Now, I have this mission because I can't take on everybody as a client in that capacity, but I have a mission to help more small business owners and entrepreneurs just like you to stop spinning your wheels, make sense of your business so that it creates money and time freedom. Okay? Creates money and time freedom. My freedom looks like working and living all over the world, right? So I live and work my business from all over the world. I've been doing this for years now, right? I started this journey in Belize. I lived in Mexico for 3 years. For the past year, I've lived in the beef tango and World Cup capital of the world, and that is Buenos Aires, Argentina. So I love to call this little broadcast right here, a little business banter on the balcony in Buenos Aires. Okay, and so what I do is I give you transformational information for your business growth. Okay. Again, I can't take everybody on as VIP clients, but I try to help as many people as possible that are trying to start or grow their small business. And so this broadcast is just one of the ways that I fulfill my mission. All right. So this week, your transformational business growth information is about how to build a strong brand. Okay. How to build a strong brand. And it is important because I can only imagine that you guys are having to deal with people who are comparing your pricing, right? Oh, somebody else can give it to me for less, or I saw where I could get it for, or you're charging more than they're charging over here, right? Or you have people trying to get you to convince them that you can actually do what you say you can do, right? And so then you do all the convincing, and guess what? They still don't buy. Has that been your experience? Well, that just means you need to strengthen your brand, okay? Because brands can demand the price that they want for the transformation that they say they can bring, okay? So you need a stronger brand. That's why it's important. Now, on Monday, we talked about you stand out to create a stronger brand. I gave you a list of things to stand out, right? I told you to use your accolades, any awards, credentials, any certifications, anything that you have that lets you stand out as the expert, you use that. Are you published? All of that is standout credentials. Okay. I need you to pick a niche, right? Niche down what you do so that you're shining in a small area, right? And in that small area of an industry, people can readily identify that you're for them. I gave the example, good morning, good morning. I gave the example of supercuts, right? All supercuts does is cut hair. That's all. If you want a cheap haircut, no affordable, less wait time, right? And less time out of your day, supercuts, right? So they're talking to a niche audience. And so everybody that wants a quick, affordable haircut, they go to supercuts. They know when that commercial comes on, they're like, oh, that's all I need is a cut. Like I don't need all the other stuff. I want you to wash my hair. I don't want to sit in the dry for ages. I don't want you to style it. I just need you to cut it, right? Supercuts. So if you niche down, then the exact people who need what you have will self-identify. We're not gonna go into that. Go Monday. Go back to Monday's replay and find out all the other ways I said that you can stand out. Okay. Yesterday we talked about being consistent and clear. Okay. Be consistent and be clear. I almost said be consistently clear, but that's not enough because I need you to show up consistently. And every time you show up, I need you to be clear with your messaging. I need you to tell them who you are in the same way every time. I need you to tell them the transformation that you give the same way every time. Some of you are showing up consistently, but every time you show up differently. So that's like starting over. That don't count, right? The research says you have to show up 7 times before somebody will buy. Where if it's taking you too long to show up 7 times, okay. If you're showing up 7 times in 7 different ways, then each one of them is a different way. So you need 7 of each one of those. All right. Hope you get it. Today, what we're going to talk about is to build a strong brand, you need to build community. Okay. You need to build community. All right. So if you are an expert, and you have the ideal client avatar, you need to build a group of them. All right. You need a group of those ideal client avatars to know that you're the expert for them. And you need to give them a home. Okay. You need to give them a home. Everybody knows about Facebook groups. There are even LinkedIn groups. Okay. But you don't own those groups. I'm not telling you not to have one of those. What I'm telling you is that can't be the only place that you build community. All right. Facebook is not the only place that I build community. So every now and then, what you do is you get an invitation to download something or to attend something, and that puts you on my email list. My email list is my main community. Okay. My email list is my main community. So I want you to build community and then get them on your list so you can nurture them. Okay. Again, you don't control Facebook, right? I can't even control how many of you see this broadcast. So many of you, so many more of you used to see it before live than do now. Facebook controls that. Shay doesn't control that, right? But Shay controls how often she can send an email on her email list, right? Shay controls how great her copy is on her email, that then when you start to open the email, you start to get all of my emails. You start to see them, right? There's no really algorithm for real, right? So you need to own it. So you need to build community. Now let's talk about how to build community. You need to give those people value. Okay. You need to give them value because what you build community on is what they're gonna expect from you. Okay. So it's nothing wrong with being on TikTok dancing. I don't see anything wrong with that. But unless you have a dance school, business wise, what are you doing? So when you dancing on TikTok, make sure you dancing around some tips or some value that's actually what you sell. Okay? Because some of y'all can dance. I've seen it. Some of y'all can dance. So I'm not gonna tell you not to dance. What I'm gonna tell you is while you moving on hips, give them some value. Okay? Give them some value that's attached to what you sell. All right? So again, in your email list, you need to be giving them value. You build community of ideal clients by constantly giving them value that they perceive as valuable, not just what you perceive as valuable, right? So when I come on here Monday through Thursday and I go live and I give you this information, I am actually giving you information from a pool of people just like you who have told me these are your struggles, right? Because as an expert, I know what it takes to build a six-figure business. I've had one for years, right? I deal in seven-figure, multiple six-figure, and six-figure business day to day and week to week. I know what it takes, but I have to give you the information in the way that you find it valuable because you don't know what you don't know, right? So if I start talking about this stuff over here and it don't sound like nothing to do with making money to you, you're not going to tune in. So another way that you give value, I want you to be careful to not be too much of an expert. Don't talk over people's heads. Okay? Do not talk over people's heads. I need you to know that you're enough, and I need you to know that you're smart so that you don't talk over people's heads to be smart. Okay? Because actually, when you're talking over people's head, you're not helping. You're not helping. Talking what I call lowest terms. You remember math when you had those fractions and you had to get the fraction down in lowest terms? That meant you couldn't make it any more plainer. You couldn't make it any, you can't divide into it anymore. It's lowest terms. I need you to speak in lowest terms with the value that you give to your ideal clients so that they understand because their understanding is key, right? So talk about things that they deem as valuable for where they are, okay? And then speak in lowest terms so they understand the value that you're giving. This is how you build community. Nobody just says, oh, you're cool, I'm going to be in your community, and then stay in there and then get active and then eventually buy from you. They have to like, know, and trust you, right? So to trust you, you have to give them value that they perceive as valuable. Because if they don't perceive it as valuable, not only do they not pay attention to your free information, they're never going to buy anything from you. All right. So today's tip in building a strong community is to build, I'm not a strong brand, I'm sorry, is to build community. Okay. Build community. And you build community by effectively communicating value that they perceive as value. Okay. And then you give them a place to go, give them a home. You can have a Facebook group. I have one, but I also need you to have an email list because that is the group, that is the home for your community that you own. Okay. And then I need you to nurture them. So this is how you build community. All right. So tomorrow we have one more tip for building a strong brand. This has been a great week. This is great information. I think this is the first time I've ever presented on building a strong brand, but it is so valuable. It's so much valuable information. Day one was packed with valuable information on how to stand out. I think that people thought that day one was the whole week. So don't miss day one. Go back, get day one. Go back, get day two. And if you have to, listen to the replay of today because I know I gave you a lot today too. But these strong brands are what you need to then have a strong business. That's how it translates. Okay? So have a great day. Join me here again tomorrow for your last tip on building a strong brand. 8 a.m. Eastern time. Meet me right here, and we're going to give you your last tip of the week. Okay? If you want to jump ahead, the blog post is in the caption. So feel free to jump ahead and get the blog. The blog, y'all know how it is. When I write the blog, I tell you something, but when I talk, I may give you more juicy tidbits, right? So read the blog anyway and listen to the broadcast. Okay? You can get double value that way. All right, guys. See you in the morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time.